Oke guys, apakah apakah ini gue, nah begini guys, my earphone bro, where my earphone, dan kita akan nonton PRX guys ya, dan Bang Lek, aduh. Nah, ini damn bro, nah so smooth. Dan kita akan nonton PRX, nonton PRX guys. Kali ini kita nonton PRX. Iya, langsung aja gak sih? Langsung aja gak sih? Let's go gak sih?
And what these two teams can bring onto the table. We saw Wolves having a shaky start against.
Sabar gak sih? Kita sabarin dulu. Seru nih bos. Match seru. Si Futang ya kan, si Futang yang kemarin. Aduh, menggoreng Genji. Apakah PRX akan digoreng juga atau malah PRX menggoreng di match ini coy? We don't know. Gak ada yang bisa nebak guys. Hanya Tuhan yang tahu ini mah. Hanya Tuhan yang tahu pak. Kalau masalah beginian mah. Kita akan langsung aja nonton PRX ya kan. Ini lagi milih skinnya sih. Ada something udah senyum-senyum nih ya. Something udah senyum-senyum nih. Coach Alex juga udah senyum-senyum guys. Apakah akan mode bantai-bantai guys? Nggak ada yang tahu pak, nggak ada yang tahu. Tuh, udah lotus. Kita ya lihat aja pick lah. Aduh, cucu. Aduh, jangan berharap lebih lah. Chill aja kita, chill bos. Jangan berharap lebih dulu. Kita pasang ya udahlah, main biasa aja. 2 init, 2 enggak yang 1. Ya seperti biasa sih di Lotus ya. Something main Euro dan Race dan ya ini agent pack biasa. Apakah sifat akan menyala di match ini? Apakah Spring akan di counter sama Pacman? Apakah GUYSSS akan dianjing-anjingin sama something? Gak ada yang tahu. Gak ada yang tahu ini coy. Gak ada yang tahu pak. Langsung aja. itu loh. Makanya jangan meremehkan, oke? Jangan meremehkan. Jangan ada meremehkan, guys. PRX ini sudah mulai goreng-goreng. Ya. Lihat ya. PRX mulai goreng-goreng, guys ya. Percaya moga. Dan kita mulai aja.
For PRX, I feel like everyone's looking like they're the underdogs in this. Oh,
which is crazy, right?
Hey, do you not remember them in Champs Finals? Yeah, they lost it. I mean, the perennial second-place team, sure, but they are a Grand Finals quality team. They have to prove it once again today, up against probably the biggest Cinderella story run we've had in a long time.
I mean, poetic, right? Almost matching EG's run.
Very much so.
Could be the ones to gatekeep once more. Bit of presence shown outside C initially. 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖆 actually taking a ton of damage there. He's got to back away and respect this now. 22 HP. Not sure if it was confirmed on the side of Wolves, but certainly something to consider as the round progresses. He's actually relinquished all control here.
I mean, if it carries on in this fashion, Wolves have got a lovely beginning. And obviously for PRX, it looks like they want to try and clear some of those question marks. Work behind this. It's taken a lot of utility, though. See, the Paranoia went through, the Haunt went through. A lot of their kit got invested to clear that.
Big retake tools off the table here. Wolves rightfully so. Must have known that they found a point of weakness here, but why you tucked into a lurk? Does it get dug out? Forsaken, lazy clearance on the first hit. Jing, next one up.
Yeah, look. One was fine, the second's ridiculous. And now they've got a comfortable post plant. Remember all that utility that PRX put to clear out towards rubble. Now, not gonna have it. Gonna have to go back in, guns in hand. Nice from something, needs some more. A lot of bodies to clear just on the site. Wants to cycle back up. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 has got to. Oh, it's lovely from Wolves. A dreamy beginning. He's out of his chair. And a real statement of intent from Wolves here.
Convincing start to kick off Lotus, and these sort of set plays towards rubble, exactly what I'm talking about. When PRX try and find the timing, it's a massive investment. It looks a little clunky, sure, because they don't find anything, but has to dig out players like Spring, potentially 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎, somebody trying to backfill that space. Actually, even this scenario, 𝖎𝑘.
Yes.
They did try and dig him out, but instead a lazy clearance from Forsaken, and Jing just couldn't stand up to the task.
And I do want to kind of highlight something that was discussed earlier in the day, the fact that these at one point have been scrim partners too. Some real awareness between these two sides. So I'd love to see if we continue to see this, these gaps being found, these moments to potentially find ways to pressure each other. So looking at this purchase, plenty coming out for Wolves and a very light reinvestment here from PRX. So just that Sheriff for 𝖊𝖕𝖎. Otherwise, all classics. And so far, you're going to be looking at Wolves going through the protocol list. Mike Wright, try and keep this clean. They can afford to lose Spring, but they probably wouldn't want to.
Sure. I mean, the riskiest rounds versus PRX are these anti-ecos. Spring, not good for the first here. Forsaken, redeeming himself from round one. Only a Sheriff recovered, though, so almost a calculated loss on the side of Wolves.
And again, it's huge information. You've seen maybe two, perhaps a couple more players over there. You're going to read that as a stack. And they've already got pretty much the green light and a very aggressive post-plant hold. They want to stake their claim in some area of this. Make it harder work for PRX. Make them invest a little bit more. I don't mind that at all, as long as they play together. It can get risky. Oh, you got to lock in on that one. Easy now, as we're in a 2v2 and Juicy's down low. This is the danger of PRX. You're never quite out of the woods. Forsaken gonna get a nice little upgrade here too. Juicy's done really well to fight Jing, but Forsaken needs 4 to do this again.
Look at the way!
Unreal, unreal already. This sort of explosive play in the second round.
Like I said, there's always a threat in these anti-ecos for PRX. We play up against some smiles on the stage. A sigh of relief. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, ever the hero so far in Toronto. Able to bail him out versus Forsaken.
Oh,
I mean,
you're a lucky boy there.
very, very lucky. Come back into this now with a broken purchase. Actually, what? Opportunity here for Spring to do some work with a scope. Outside of that, 𝖎𝑘 and 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎 just down on pistols. And expect Wolves to maybe try and pick up a kill here on the back of some PRX aggression.
And I quite like the conditioning early on as well, Mike. It's been this kind of constant lead through towards C, a little bit of a default straight through middle, but they haven't really tested this A side. So again, if you're PRX, you're maybe starting to get a bit of a read into that as well, something you're going to start reacting to. Again, you look at the spread here so far, depending on just that Omen cycling those smokes. So a lot of pressure, but already re-clear comes in, doesn't quite catch YU towards middle, and Patman wants that information.
Alarm bot, though, from YU posted up pretty deep. I think on the back of dealing with that, they're reading PRX rotating away, so it might just be a committed B hit here. So Patman will be called upon. Forced away by the utility, actually using up close to personal. He's found a tag through the smoke there.
Oh, but Forsaken gets involved. Nice damage on the first, but a quick trade. The pressure now starting him out. The spike let loose. The PRX clearing out the B site. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 a little too late to the party here with 25 seconds. There's a firing squad around that corner. As his haunt in 10, but look at the timer. Very difficult situation. And there it is, comfortable in the end, but PRX handled that well.
Gitu loh.
𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖕 positioned as the late round piece here.
𝖘𝖚𝖕𝖎𝖆
Played out of this because I'm sure was it Juicy was caught on the reload here.
Down B.
Really rough timing for him. Yeah, I mean it's just nobody to comfortably that can swing onto that angle to bail him out. Even there, I mean 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖕 another consolation potentially to find. But just didn't find it. Juicy already on the showstopper here, so going to see him fire a stinger into round 4.
I'll find you.
Expect too much of a pace shift here, but I mean on the talking about early round protocols here, PRX dealing with the turret nice and early here. That's your set piece out. Juicy's been shut down.
Oh, what a lovely little play to bring out the back of contact. It's stunning, and it's rewarded them 2 kills. This is that evolution to PRX we love now getting to watch, right? It's not just that mechanical talent, that aggression. They have these little set pieces they like to run every now and then, and it wasn't overly complex. And that was a mistake. What's that? Catching them asleep at the wheel there, Mike. That's going to haunt them. And an overstep, unnecessary. This feels like a fumble, Mike. Now, it looks like Patman might be the saving grace to this, though.
Lysol's read it.
Lysol has read it. Oh, and he's down with him. This is a fumble for PRX and a gutting one because it was a brilliant start.
2 players caught sleeping, and the spike is there as well. All they needed to do was reinforce that hole. But Wolves able to dissect that setup just outside C.
30 seconds left.
Actually find themselves a plant here. YU down at 15 HP. You get the lockdown off this as well, you're right.
Okay, a little bit of util as well for YU, but it's 𝖊𝖉𝖆 wading back through towards the site. Problem is there's utility in the way. Gonna find it tricky. Position now given away, and you can see Lysol should be the checkmate. There's that layer of util from YU. Isolated and alone. And a devastating mistake there from PRX. Credit to Wolves for re-engaging, but they cannot be dropping the ball like that.
Was it the timing on the smoke? I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing I talked about before this map started. PRX being aggressive, picking apart this slow default and look for control, but here, I mean, both players, smoke drops, yeah. I mean, that's just...
But both, yeah.
That is outrageous to see somebody caught off guard like that. On top of the box.
And insult to injury as well. They're up out there, see, they're giving it. You know that's the ones that are going to tilt you. But back in, PRX have a very strong mental. They're not going to break off that. Alex might, but they won't. So PRX needs to kind of reignite a little bit of that focus here. You can't get lazy in this. You've got to stay lethal. Something. Nice to do a little bit of early work, but going to be warded away, and we've seen these slower defaults coming out from Wolves. Doing the diligent work, right? They've been doing what is necessary.
I mean, even here, damage trade-off have come out on top. Weaken something. See, the purchase not there for PRX. And Prowler will force something even deeper here. How do I send through? Juicy's potentially going to be... Oh, actually, the TP comes across from Lysol, so they'll still have somebody to back him up initially. And actually, Lockdown invested here, fully respecting this anti-eco once again. They're aware of the threat. that previous
You've got
round,
to,
yeah.
You've got to. I mean, PRX, you said it right. Those are the sort of rounds that sometimes they look the scariest in almost. But for now, Wolves finding stability here in the post plant. They've still got to keep it in mind that there is danger. Plenty through Waterfall. 4-1 split on the retake now. Juicy turns attention. Smokes great from them. Laban on the spray.
Patman's got two.
Patman has got two. Maybe a chance. It feels like it's dwindling. These opportunities passing by for them. As it looks like 4-1 will be on the board. And I'm waiting to see a timeout soon enough here. As something's on one. Got to get locked in. As this has passed them by here. Silver lining, the best they can hope for as Wolves off to the ideal start. Mike, look, I know all of us have been enjoying this Wolves run. I think most of us thought this is where it probably ends. But you could argue someone said that about Gen G too. But
Yeah.
at 4-1, I'm paying attention.
I mean, I remember coming into that Gen G series thinking, if they could pull this off,
That's the one.
because they still effectively had a lifeline in terms of dropping.
Yes.
There's no elimination on the line. And even here now, it would be such a big sigh of relief to escape that once more.
Now use them.
4-1 to kick off Lotus here. PRX, I mean, you don't ever really humble PRX. They will continue pressuring like this. Odin investment here from Forsaken, though, may lead you to believe it's a slower round. TP's actually stuck here, Lystor. Bold in approach.
And that was pinged so quickly
Yeah.
as well, it looked like. So aware of this, and whatever the set plan was, feels like PRX read that
Well, I think it's on the
perfectly.
back of seeing 2 or 3 bodies swing out from B there that
Yeah.
maybe they feel like the extremity is going to be the weaker side of the hold, but Forsaken shuts that down.
Certainly not, but a 3v5, I want to see discipline from PRX here. I don't want to see fumbles, I don't want to see mistakes.
Great isolation.
It certainly was. Now, Forsaken is going to do some good chip damage as well. Look at 𝖂𝖕𝖕𝖕 down on only 26. Spring's position given away. Look where the spot. Oh! What is that? Ridiculous. And a 2v3 is not impossible. So they are just gunning it, right? They are running their little legs off straight towards C. They're going to leave one behind. 𝑌U.
Actually, the tap of the spikes, drawn out the ultimate from Divide.
I mean,
Nightfall here from
30
the
seconds
plant
left.
as well.
oh, the pathing. This is now getting really dangerous, but 𝑌U set up the motion, no. Divide, very diligent and nice from PRX. They pulled it together there. You're starting to see a little bit of that synergy shining.
And the composure as well. Don't over-invest in this early round aggression. Able to peel away really quickly, and credit to Forsaken. I think potentially something up towards Evan. There was a couple of people charging out, like you said,
my God.
instantly pinged. Again, you can't really fault the approach here, but bold to stick a TP into the back lines.
And it got close, but I like seeing those fundamentals come together for PRX though, right? Doubling up, even in that chaos of potential plant on towards that B side. No, they popped the ult, they still stay very close. And credit to Divide. I know it's only 1 kill, but him catching 𝑌U basically keeps them safe. Otherwise, it's this kill right here from Divide. I find that to be the most imperative of them all. Very heads up work. Maybe feeling they'd have tried to have left a player behind, inserted a player. Still not fussed though, apparently. Still chilling.
I mean, you got to be happy leading 4-2 here
Yeah.
on the attacking side as well. Back to the drawing board though here. Well, as close to a full purchase here as Lystor down on the Guardian. The Wolves, Forsaken actually tagged up there. I'm not sure if he's actually confirmed any damage on the side of Wolves. Activity once more as well, and active clearance out past Mound.
This could be nasty. Actually sees, and the paint shell is perfect! Jane gets out two
It's a
for
2 for
the
2.
reply. How the hell did they get 2 back?
Could say almost favouring PRX in that regard, but something going to be played in here.
Oh, angles like that, this man
Strike
hits
down,
those shots.
C.
Mechanically sharp as ever. Starting to read what they wanted. Similar scenes to before though. 𝖂𝖕𝖕𝖕𝖕 and 𝑌U. Trying to work the map here, 2v3.
Tapi di situ kalau lu masuk nih, kena udah.
Okay, testing.
30 seconds left.
Okay, that's...
Enemy
Nice.
remaining.
I mean, they're playing such high risk,
Spike
Mike.
down,
It scares
C.
the life out of me sometimes. 20 seconds and a 1v2 𝖕𝖊𝖉𝖎 and Forsaken.
Jangan.
Where are we off to now? 14 seconds. His options are so limited.
10 seconds left.
They're both here. Surely not. Yeah, he's got to go for it. No chance. Well handled by PRX, closing in on the scoreline.
So you've got to look for that composure again, building up a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances. That's where you look towards some of these more sloppy kills towards the end of the round. Again, Jing
30 seconds
finding
left.
2 here to open.
One enemy
Beautiful
remain-
little trap piece outside B.
Wolves
Wolves actually going to be the ones to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm at round 8 again. Decent sample size, I guess, already in the first half here. Maybe a little bit of an adjustment towards the latter rounds. See, no purchase going to be available here for Wolves, so ideally looking towards round 9 here in terms of any game plan adjustment. I guess actually in that regard, the first time PRX have really been able to catch their breath.
It has been kind of in their face. Credit to PRX for being able to learn on the fly. Again, this kind of like 6th and 7th round, obviously, have been the ones to give them the stability here. But I do want to see what the reaction is from Wolves. Again, it does feel like that almost no-go zone once you've got that Odin spam coming down. It's not as lethal as it could be. I mean, if you throw in a Viper with it, right? We've seen what that can do. But still, as it stands, it's kind of cut off those options towards A, it feels like, kind of pressuring back towards B, those C hits. But it's the re-aggresses from PRX. Very little fear, even in those high-risk scenarios. We're a bit more used to it, I guess, at this point, and so will they be now. At 3 to 4, just Sheriffs. And a couple of classics.
I mean,
Plenty of ults.
bigger picture-wise, both of these teams have so many reps this year on Lotus. I think it's 14 for PRX and 11 or 12 for Wolves.
Yeah.
So even here on the attacking half, I mean, if you come out with a lead, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to feel really good about yourself. So we'll have to ride this out on a handful of Sheriffs. Something going to tuck himself in between these smokes.
Oh, it's nasty. And 𝖕𝖊𝖉𝖎 drawing all eyes on him. It is only pistols, but it's... Ah! 𝖕𝖊𝖉𝖎's like that. Sorry, something. You don't even get to play. Easily done. Happy with that. Confidence builders there.
A little bit of a reset here in between ahead of this buy round, and actually, we'll have the pit. 𝖂𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕 has his ultimate. Juicy just one away as well. Didn't even need the second piece of this setup.
One enemy remaining.
Building some confidence here. Bit of a Cobra round for 𝖕𝖊𝖉𝖕. He's actually leading the
Yeah.
4 to 10 and 4, an early 3K, I believe, in one of the rounds.
Ooh, look at this stack. They're in the right place here, Mike. How far do PRX go in this? Deep flash. Look at this outrageous approach. Oh, it's been
Wait, what?
absolutely red. Jing gets backhanded there, and they couldn't close down on any of the kills.
I mean, 2 pings on the reveal. Not sure how much that box just sponged, but no damage
Face your fear!
coming through. It's only really 𝖂𝖊𝖉𝖕 who's taken a hit here down to 35 HP. Nightfall might actually be a bit of a red herring.
How much can Patman be expected to do here? That's a huge ult as well, right?
Has to basically hit the
And
panic
Forsaken,
button.
wait, Forsaken. Oh, they read it so smart. As soon as that Nightfall caught how many? 4 players? Instantly went for it. Now, not to beat, Wolves 2 heads up for that. And the dust hasn't even settled, really. But the rotations are here. 𝖕𝖊𝖉𝖕's back over. And he was solid before this nice high-low setup. Be very difficult to break. Or not there, Paranoia ready, there it is, forces them off. Spring, they seem so prepared for these holds. They've seen Patman as well. Position now
30
given,
seconds
and
left.
look at 𝖎𝑘𝑔𝑆.
Well, he's got so much space to play
God,
into.
his lurk is so nasty. And at this point, they want to pivot, they want to go back towards B. It does put in towards something's hand. Spring, oh! It's gorgeous from Spring. Lurks on lurks, but something still stands. Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Where do they go? Back towards C. Safety on that
10
C
seconds
site. You don't fancy walking into something like this. So the plant's in, and he's left in a 1v4.
planted.
Make an honest go of this here. You can see on the X-ray 𝖎𝖕𝖈 already wrapping him. He's got a turret here to play contact off as well. Might even just
Biasanya.
be able to pop something in the back of the head. No,
There you go.
we'll get the sound cue regardless. I think now relaying that information. Yeah, that comes through.
God, his positioning.
Yeah, this is just, again, probably sitting back and watching this, Alex not going to be happy about this spray into the smoke with the audience. It's begging somebody
Someone.
to walk on it.
Yep.
And Spring just comes alive.
And it feels like this was a whole book in one round, right? Chapter by chapter, at this beginning, the box apparently being on Wolves' side, and then you had the TP coming in, you had the Nightfall coming out. This all happened. All of this was in the same round. And again, that paranoia being just tilted up, it felt like they were so aware. There's the walk on the
Patman's on
smoke.
a reload. So Forsaken fully committed towards that. They're both spamming into this. I mean, there's an opportunity to potentially bait into that. One person sprays, but something off rip here, round 10.
Timeout seeming to work well, at least for these early couple of exchanges, right? Something's want of space and wanting to play towards bound is fine, but you've started to see how Wolves are approaching this.
You never see PRX really relent in that
No,
regard.
no.
It will continue, and that's where they catch teams off guard, where it's like, yeah, your aggression
Surely
hasn't
now.
worked 4 rounds in a row. No, we're coming again, don't worry.
That 5th time, it'll work. And now we're seeing a bit of a tempo switch up from Wolves too. Very, very slow, holding here, waiting for that re-aggress, which is coming. And again, they're so prepared, Mike. They've got the PRX playbook and they understand it well. Still got to handle the players on the other side. Great shot from Batman, but it's traded. And the numbers simply so advantageous. A quick rotate off the back of, once again, GUYSSS space.
Always the one to backfill these sort of plays.
Ooh, tricky. Still not easy on this though, is it?
No.
It's. Whoa! A shot! Oh, come on! How is that fair? But look at, once again, if you don't see him on the site, you know where to be looking. Slow and steady, he herds them closer. They need a plant though, 17 seconds, and YU on his walkabouts. Divide dead! And now the plant on the line though, Forsaken could speed up here. Punish the plant, but no, can't quite catch him! Spring again! Wolves! Beautiful mid-rounding here, Mike. This is stunning.
Blow for blow, this exchange is beautiful to just watch from the minimap. YU threading the needle once more. Oh. That's how he gets found. But again, it's a similar thing. PRX, they lose one, they stack up 3 to actively re-clear that space. And ultimately, again, it feels like it's their demise in this round because of YU. Now sitting at 11 and 5, leading the board for Wolves. Almost the executioner getting plenty of shots to the back of the head.
Oh yeah. And it was impressive. Again, this kind of, it feels like it came out of that timeout as well. They've clearly got a game plan in mind of how they wanted to approach this.
But
And it's
yeah,
worked.
I mean, because they're reading it perfectly. Again, this scenario, First Blood comes through. They know PRX are going to re-clear. So there's going to be 1, potentially 2 other lanes on the map that are totally open for YU to walk into.
It's very impressive to watch because PRX are a really hard to handle team. You only have to look at the names they've taken down to get to this point, right? It makes perfect sense. Liquid, Sen, G2. I mean, they're a dangerous team. You know, if you want to you talk about, you know, all these kind of, you know, intelligent teams, they play that, you know, good quote-unquote Valorant. They've fallen for this, but Wolves have come in very prepared. Maybe just, you know, very, very ready for what PRX like, understanding the tendencies.
Prepared, yes, but actually refining some of the things that we've seen them adapt here in Toronto,
True.
which is actually what's so refreshing to see, again, on a dream run like this, an underdog dark horse, but actually improving game by game. Upsets along the way, sure, but actually showing they've got their heads screwed on.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Now for PRX, so once again you kind of go into the archives, right? As much as everyone likes to look at these guys as underdogs, they've had to rebuild. That is true. Bringing in Patman was fantastic. It worked. We've all seen the difference in their playstyle as of late. They're starting to look much, much better overall. But these guys have sat in finals. These guys have been in Champions finals. They know what this sort of pressure's like. They are never going to be the underdogs in my mind. They're too talented for it. So as it stands, they need to adapt here.
Just look at what's happened here as well, PRX. Have already drawn a player across. I mean, Divine now reconsidering, but Spring looking to pressure up towards Tree. Divine again, counter 3, almost caught one here. YU now again, shows presence on the other side. So 𝖚𝖓𝖉𝖎𝖆 the minimap. Look what happens. Immediately, PRX looking to isolate the weaker side of this default, but they pick up the pace towards A.
I like the intention, actually, I really do. But the problem is the stall out's fantastic from PRX.
Down A.
Denying that space being taken freely. They're here quickly, popping the ult from something. Information galore in 25 seconds. We are now at pressure stations. Forsaken down on 30, has to respect the paint shell. A spray through the smoke here doesn't land, but something's does. They're dwindling in numbers. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 and Spring, the last two standing, and they are cornered here. This adjustment from PRX, divine! Stunning from them, they worked it so well.
Now that is a beautiful recovery, considering what happened elsewhere. It was paranoia, showstopper, so much thrown towards 𝖬𝖈. And in that situation, Wolves just kind of need to go, 1 for 2 in terms of approaching A site. They do that. PRX still come back.
One enemy.
This is really nice from PRX. Again, even seeing that discipline start to an extent, right? That dose of discipline in the beginning, the second contact's made.
A sprinkle of discipline.
As much as we're going to get. That's as much as we're going to get. But honestly, I like that though. And again, those quick rotations, starting to read what Wolves are doing, identifying 𝖬𝖈 where he was. And yeah, the trap was there, but even those rotations coming in so quick. Back into the mix of things. A buy for both sides, still lacking for some areas on PRX's side. You're going to see that Guardian still in the hands of Divide. And a stack up from Wolves. And on the other side, Forsaken, not too far, a clear towards Mound, and a wanted punish. You can see they're starting to read this, maybe Mound pressure, trying to maybe toy with those expectations off of that Fade utility.
They kind of know Forsaken's the key stakeholder in terms of those set pieces outside C. Try to shut him down here. Again, beautiful read, or assessment, I guess, of the previous situation.
And some people may look at these two teams and see them as just those mechanical monsters, but this is a really cerebral game so far.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Seeing these rotations on rotations, these adjustments. Oh, Spring almost. And now a moment of quiet here.
That could slow
Juicy.
things down potentially.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to kind of pre-take, I guess. And the plant's going to come in. Now this should encourage movement here. Just going to kind of eat the Prowler, still close range, still able to use the shorty just fine. Weapon's not right and the knife's not ready. So a 3v3 in the post. Look at the position from 𝖬𝖈. That is, excuse me, coming in from 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. He is still on the way, but they've still got to slow things down. 𝖬𝖈 does well. 𝖬𝖊𝖆𝖚 still has to hold ground here, and now the silence becomes deafening. The position becomes questioned. They don't know where he is, but they're going to hazard a guess. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖉𝖎 does well on one. Draws Devi off the defuse. Just needs to keep his cool here. This would be everything for him, trying to play to the time, play to the tempo, play to the clock. And play him like a fiddle! 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖉𝖎! Beautiful for the Red Bull clutch!
This guy, time and time again, looks so composed in the clutch and closes out a 7-5 half here, Lauren. Fantastic stuff from Wolves.
This has been an exceptional game so far. Just brilliant from both sides. And again, on surface, you may have thought, it's not going to be this really cerebral matchup. But this has been a wondrous affair.
Enemy.
Really has. That's any sort of taster here towards the second half. Don't go anywhere, we'll find out very shortly.
Yeah, we will, because we do have a bit of a treat as well coming up. We do have the one and only Mixwell standing by for us. So that'll be where we're going to in just a second. So I can't wait to hear from him. He's been in these scenarios. Let's see how that feels from the other side.
Well, one of the perks of being here live during finals weekend is being able to run into legends such as Mixwell, who's co-streaming here from the venue now. Welcome back to Canada. You've been here before. What do you think about the crowd so far?
I think the crowd is one of the loudest I've ever seen, to be honest. I traveled to a lot of tournaments in VCT, so they are doing a great job.
Yeah, it's very exciting to be among them now. You have a little bet when it comes to Wolves. Can you explain it to everybody what happens if Wolves win this event?
I wasn't familiar with their game. At the start of the tournament, I said that if Wolves wins the event, I'm gonna go bold. So now I'm afraid I need PRX to win today, please.
Toronto, what are the chances do you think of him going bold? Come on, are Wolves gonna win this event? Oh, it's not looking good for you, Mixwell. It's not looking good. Now, some of the players on stage, we've really seen their personalities. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖉𝖎, Forsaken, they're on their feet, they're hyping up the crowd. As a former player who also enjoys that atmosphere, how important is it to have that hype man on your team?
I think it's really important, especially when they are down. Some games, Wolves were down and 𝖂𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖎 brought Juicy back, for example, and I think it's crucial. I think that you have to play with the crowd, you have to enjoy the moment, you have to be in the moment, and Wolves, especially, they are enjoying it a lot, and a lot of people want to cheer for them as well because of that energy, and now I like them. Even though I might go bold, I like them.
All right, we shall see. I hope you do go bold at the end of this event. Thank you very much, 𝖘𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, for joining me. And let's see if PRX can maybe save him in the second half.
The one thing I will absolutely agree with is this crowd has been amazing. For both teams as well.
But the second thing I will say is actually referencing back something we were talking about in the cast the other day. We do see the econ report here from Coinbase. Again, very evenly contested first half here. 𝖬𝖎 the one to really pull ahead here for Wolves, but also 𝖬𝖊𝖉 on the other side of things. But just to come back to that same point, again, the resilience. Juicy the other day, an absolute stinker of a first half.
Yeah, really struggled.
But again, the vibes never changed on stage. You could see maybe hints of frustration coming through, but that's where players like 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 really pay dividends in terms of a team's mental.
I mean, we talk about the sixth man, right? Being that crowd behind you to get you back going.
You almost need a conductor actually from the stage to be able to actually channel that back into getting a team back online, and Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto.
All right, PRX now on the attack, 5-7. Whoa! 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, headliner, a big player in big games too. Don't forget what this man can do. 3 pivotal kills, and a stark reminder of who PRX can be.
We dictate the pace now. You can't sit back in the default. We'll bring the fight to you. Now, 𝖬𝖎 in spring, well, just 𝖬𝖎 left now in a 1v5. An ace needed. The Jing gonna shut down any hope of recovery. Kicking off the second half with a flawless round victory.
And you're right, I think what you said, controlling that tempo, making their fights their own. Hard to handle on all occasions.
Simple aja sih. Aduh, gue mesti tanya.
PRX are gonna dial into that. And that's really, I guess, we've asked this before of Wolves.
Langsung ke body base motor. Dia mau.
To kind of stabilize a little bit in the second half and really get to grips with what their opponent's going to try and achieve here. Is, again, no secrets on the way in from PRX. Stack misplaced here, so your second successful approach towards A. Hopefully.
Yep. And I getting looked towards 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎 here, 2 away from his ult so early on. I mean, that could be there for the bonus, right? Huge.
What is that? Yeah, his third 3K or something.
One off
the map
now.
so far.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Massive the attack inside. That could be lovely for them to have in the back pocket. Something that Wolves will have to deal with.
Coming to your first buy round, to have that ultimate available is brutal. Wow.
Guys.
A response found.
Easy, 𝖘𝖚𝖕𝖎𝖆. We shouldn't get more dangerous than this. Stop it. Stop it. Jing and Forsaken keep this in control. Stop it! What has gone on? Forsaken left in a 1v2. Come on, Forsaken, surely you keep this safe. Backpedaling away, trying to play the time now. This should never have been this close. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 forced to move, but that got way closer.
Come down to a Red Bull clutch here. Just one rifle retained. Now you're almost relying on 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 ult to be the turning point here. But PRX are able to get the purchase together. Jing judge, but I saw finding so much value here. Jing. Yeah.
Okay.
Blood pressure check required for Alex.
We'll get the heart rate monitors out next time. Now, again, keep in mind they do have 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 ult here. So this is something you've got to see them build around, be aware of. Quick little pain shot to try and maybe delay.
I mean, Wolves are just perfectly for this. There's actually nobody here. Yes. Entry found, but it's a full 5v5 in the post.
Sketchy timing on this. And it looks like something wants to try and hold this back. They're willing to try and brawl on the site. They're not sitting deep at all here. Something wants to draw blood. PRX still standing by. Oh, it's messy. And now there's an opportunity. PRX, though, banking on Jing. And you know he'll give you a couple here. Beautiful from him. Now down in the 1v2. Incredibly difficult for 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕 again. Not gonna happen. Jing's got that one all day long.
The tempo shift here on the half certainly suiting PRX. Now one to the good, 8-7 the scoreline. Get this judge up close and personal.
Okay.
Jing 4 on the round for him. Good progress towards the showstopper as well. Gonna potentially, what should all rights have that for the next buy round here. Wolves down on a bit of a Shiko.
Yeah.
No ultimates to their name. I mean, 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕 the closest, and well, actually, 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖚 one away from the TP, but not necessarily too impactful.
Okay. Okay. And that's a recoverable weapon. No one else is here. So the game should be given away to an extent. Obviously now, the hit being noted by 𝖬𝖈, trying to buy time, but it's hard to hold this back, right? It's a flood of players, full kit.
Nobody was watching, don't worry. We didn't see it.
Yeah,
We didn't see it.
All good, all good. PRX, though, got to steady the ship here. Can still get a little bit scary. And now Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him in? The post plant is purely on the site itself, Mike. There isn't anyone sitting deep.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs, basically, to rally behind here and try and make this rifle work. Found the first. Patman's fallen.
Okay, 𝖊𝖉𝖕 now. Gonna have to do work here. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕 does well. 𝖊𝖉𝖕 though. Oh! I told you before, this man is a big player in big games, and he just had a hell of a lot of impact.
Blink and you miss it. One of the quickest aces I think we've probably ever seen.
Look at this. And they needed him. They needed this. It was all going wrong. Oh,
That is just
magic.
beautiful to watch back. He's going through it.
But they're getting close, Wolves, right? They're getting close on these rounds, getting a little bit scary. But the scoreline looking good for PRX. 9-7, a buy back in hand for Wolves, though. They have to stop the rot fast.
This could be the round to find that response. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖕's ultimate. This time around, obviously retrieve the orb outside C. There's a bit of a gap here with Forsaken solo anchor towards A. Obviously, possibility here.
Dapat info langsung dar itu, simple.
Second player actually to come across fairly quickly, but
Well, here comes the test. Patman, don't know if that's going to reach. It does, so 𝖬𝖈 will be noted. Draws the paranoia. Okay, counter on counter. They can't hear a thing here. 𝖊𝖉𝖕, though, unaffected, unfazed. 35 seconds getting close now. The paranoia burnt early, and 𝖬𝖈 needs to be ready. This is a lot of pressure coming his way. You're going to hear the ults coming out to secure the plant, but 𝖬𝖈 still does the damage. Can't do the dance, though, with Forsaken. And that's a beautiful catch from 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕, punishing Jing on the push-up. And now the plant gets hindered. Problems now mounting. Spring at the door, and now it's just on 𝖊𝖉𝖕. Position noted earlier, they should be aware. But this man's dangerous, but not today. Spring's got his number, and Wolves back within touching distance.
we said we needed them to find a response here. They finally stopped that string of rounds. Getting costly here on both sides. The showstopper shut down here from Jing, desperate to try and convert.
It's broken the money from PRX.
Yeah, it has.
See
Yeah,
how
I mean,
close these rounds have been.
It's not necessarily been a walk in the park for that string of rounds, but Jing looking to put this rifle to work. Start of round 18.
He's had a feel-good round. not too long ago. Ooh,
Oh, look at that anti-TP sets up!
Oh, it's so sick!
Wow.
You think Wolves are just another team? They're certainly not very ready for what PRX wanted to bring. Forsaken picking up what feels like the cursed rifle at this point. Just dropping hand to hand. Divided well last time in a scenario not too dissimilar to this, but not be able to get it this time. Yeah, handled. Wolves fully ready.
Something just walking into a blender. Was it both nanos actually into that
Think-
corner? The alarm bot was there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously the vulnerable taking effect.
Second time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the second is here.
No escape, really. God.
And actually, yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, Jing's forced into the line of sight as well. So
One enemy.
great little setup here from Wolves will actually get them a second round. Force a timeout as well from PRX.
Tembak,
So will
tembak.
be required to stand on their own 2 feet now for the remainder. 9-9 the scoreline.
Come on, guys. Wake up,
I
guys.
just keep thinking, oh, okay, PRX back to that 4 in the row. You start to have Jing popping off. You've had Divide do it, you know, acing out. It looked good. But then these last two, Wolves never feel like they look like they're under pressure. It's always possible with them. That nice little setup, these last 2 rounds, very considered.
Find themselves in a really good position actually here in terms of defensive ultimates. They got 1 away from the lockdown. Springs 1 off the pit.
Oh, true, yeah.
2 more for Juicy to find the showstopper. I mean, yes, options on the side of PRX, but in terms of this defensive ult cycle, got to feel really, really good about themselves. Again, even with that string of rounds now, look at what's in the bank for PRX. What's behind this purchase? I even hear a broken purchase if you look at some of the shields.
This feels tense though, because this was the one from the timeout, right? This is one with the plan in mind for PRX. The last check-in with the coaching staff, unless we get OT.
Wolves getting a little active here as well,
Hey,
actually.
off the back of a timeout, why not? A traditional reaction. Is PRX aware? Something. There's 3 players in that smoke. You may think there's 1, but will he expect all 3? Quick enough to find 1. Great paranoia from Forsaken as well. Do they try and go on the hunt from this? Oh, the TP's lovely. Big investment on that, but I like the idea behind it, taking a lot of space. But look at towards the site. It's, yeah, Juicy's still standing here, pops the off, plays it well. Oh, catching Jing midair! He can't get away from him. Brought back to life before from 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, and now he's standing on his own 2 feet. Divide left. All on his own. Surrounded, and he doesn't even know it. You thought that TP might have cut right through him, it didn't. The Wolves still standing together, fighting together. Divide does what he can, putting up the stand, but Wolves taking the lead.
Executed to perfection here. Get a crucial trade from Juicy, but then to find the second, the showstopper comes through, that splash damage. I can't believe that even catches on Jing. Outrageous scenes here.
Are you starting to believe now? The way this half started, I thought it was going to go kind of par for course, right? What you'd expect. The Wolves, once again, proving they are lethal about their business. So we go again. Money, not looking good for PRX. It's Stingers, it's a Sheriff, it's a Bulldog. Brought together from the bargain bin, basically, here. Can they make something with it? Ooh, a little bit of chip on the way. Position now noted. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 on the site here. Still got C's and his Prowlers, but they are fast to this. Lights all caught sleeping. Not expecting the pace. Juicy, a wild play through the smoke. Gonna find 2, but Springs now here. It gets a bit messy, but it's working out, at least for now, in Wolves' side.
Not great here for Pac-Man, though.
Oh, do you really go for that? No.
He certainly doesn't feel safe to just stick the plant out, so they're waiting for something. Does have the ultimate here, but again, 2v3 doesn't feel good.
And that chip on Pac-Man too, they're starting to feel it. Something's going to have to go nuclear. Try and save the day, but none of these fights, these engagements are fair for him. 𝖎𝖈𝖎𝖆 does well, even Pac-Man with 21 HP, and not a prayer to be had. Wolves again now, round by round, taking this away from PRX.
They hit 11 here. This is
God.
getting into some really awkward territory now. You can see this is effectively a force up here. Ultimates are plenty. Talking about some of those defensive ultimates here for Wolves. See how it lies here for PRX. This is going to take up the lion's share. Obviously, the round loss bonus is going to be a consideration, but could potentially face Wolves here on map point on a broken buy.
On PRX's map choice.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
It all starts to compound here, but they're not there yet. 4 in a row, unanswered. Ult starting to build, money looking solid. We're gonna need a PRX round. Gonna need someone to step up, and it looks like something wants to try and trailblaze his way forward. Good info, 2 spotted, and the rest now filling behind that.
So whether or not they were trying to set up for potentially a paranoia there.
Oh, the paranoia was fine on one, but it looks quite juicy. Still standing, still breathing. Forsaken gonna find the trade out towards 𝖬𝖈𝖎𝖆. Nice from PRX, unwilling to relent on the site now. Spring and what? Oh my God, what a shot. Couldn't get the second. Forsaken wants this. 𝖬𝖈𝖎𝖆, a 1v3. This would be something special. But a lifeline for PRX. Jump spot towards street, that's from Divide. Time's been bought, couldn't get the punish fast enough. And now they know the position. The cross should be the death of 𝖬𝖈𝖎𝖆. I say should. Yeah, they're not giving him an inch here. Very well handled by PRX in the end. They had to keep their cool there.
Almost a lifeline here in terms of the bigger picture. Brings it within 1. Not allowing Wolves to really sit back on their laurels and rely on these ultimates. Getting so sloppy on that first kill. The paranoia almost setting things in motion, but Forsaken just...
Heroics there.
Just absolutely bulldozing his way onto site.
Those were your last words.
Wolves at late timeout in the half in the map. Round 22. Comfortable financially, so he's still got those ultimates actually building back towards Juicy and 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. Almost a stacked deck here in terms of this cycle.
Yeah, it starts looking a bit scary, and that Jing's 2 away from his. Forsaken 1 off and 2 away from Pac-Man's, but as I said, this feels like we're getting really...
Well, again, you think about it as well, if you don't invest these ultimates early on, you never really get a clean 5v5 retake versus PRX, because they'll find a plant, but they'll also, more often than not, push towards spawn, try and find a kill, weaken that setup. So if Wolves do have any kind of set pieces around these ultimates, you're really looking towards Spring and 𝖬𝖈𝖎𝖆 to mitigate that risk and sit deep enough where you're not really going to be able to rely on it too much. But said PRX, they're a team that reads into that sort of thing so well.
Well, I'm probably going to see a paint shell. I imagine maybe a 𝐶𝑠 perhaps, who knows, but you're seeing the way that PRX want to pass.
Well, first time actually the stars align for a fight towards Rubble here.
God, this could be right off the rip. Here we go. Already paint shell comes in, 𝐶𝑠 not going to find it, but the reveal is fantastic. Juicy going to go down, Forsaken doubling in. This is lovely from them. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 does answer back in kind, but PRX aren't stopping. They want the site. And yeah, beautifully done by something. Yeah, that's stunning. Almost singular in approach, just banking on themselves.
I mean, what plant coming through with 120 left on the clock, it's a haymaker thrown from PRX and it lands once more. Similar to those early rounds we did see in the second half.
This shouldn't be possible, a 1v3. It shouldn't be possible, and it isn't. Something in the end to add the full stop to that sentence. But it is 11-11, Mike. PRX have found what they needed. But it's getting close here. The money's still in place for Wolves. And you're looking at those ults that become such a heavy factor, but this reveal was everything.
𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, unfortunately, still in the committed position. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, unfortunately, I guess, just caught off guard by the flash. Tried to turn it, but
My God.
even so, you connect that first shot, you've got 2-3 more members of PRX staring you down. So PRX maybe feel as if they found the recipe here. Slower approach this time around. No resistance shown early on, at least, from Wolves. Exploration elsewhere. This is both 𝖬𝖈 and Spring, though. Spring's going to continue pushing forwards. Might even catch Divine Spawn.
Yeah, trying to almost sell this fake, but Divine completely unawares. They hadn't seen this sort of look before, but if anything, it encourages his approach towards A now.
Jing does have the showstopper as well, though.
Yeah, this is going to get tense. Both players stuck on the back of the side now. Ready for the swing, but not ready for the shot. 𝖬𝖈 handles Forsaken, waiting for the pop of the 𝖬𝖈, and Jing's landed it. 3v3 now. Tension rising. Something holding the push through the door on the other side now. Rewarded. Nice from him. Man advantage and Plant next on the cards.
See the lockdown invested here. It's a 2v3. The response comes through from Patmen, but PRX going to get to fight this. 𝖬𝖈's found one.
Yeah, beautiful from him. They've got to react to it now. Something, it wasn't clean enough. And Jing, what do you do?
He's caught.
What do you do?
They can just stick it.
Yeah. I can't believe it. 𝖬𝖈 just has to hold guard. And for Jing, he just has to stand back and watch as the 12th gets taken away in the final hour of regulation. Wolves take the lead.
See here, the purchase going to be rough for Wolves, but they find that response, finally finding the opportunity to invest the lockdown. I mean, it's another situation where you just see Forsaken again, just digging so deep. Jing hitting the drive-by as well. Is that 𝖘𝖚𝖕𝖎𝖆 with a follow-up here onto something? This is one ultimately that can bail Jing out in that situation. They're coming into this though. Wolves still have a pit, still have a showstopper. Big tools to work with here in round 24. The moment of silence will drop. PRX poised now.
Cover going out.
Once again, it's like actually a big info there. Catch him drifting away here, not necessarily looking committed. It being Jing, obviously, the tip of the spear on some of these set pieces, but PRX are actually going to contact up.
It all feels like the calm before the storm.
Wolves almost scratching their heads here. They invest the pit over, expecting maybe that with that information, PRX are rotating towards C.
There's the info, but are you ready for the hit? How do you play it for 𝖬𝖈? Oh my God, he's going for the heroics. Oh! He went for the heroics and it worked out for one. Not going to get a second as PRX now finds stability on the site. Into the post plant, something playing a little further ahead. He wants a one and done and back away. No one's given him that yet though. And the time ticking for PRX here. This is good for them. Still ults in play though. Juicy has his. You've heard that invested. Flies on the site, but something does well. Gets one back. The showstopper does one. Wait, something got lost. And a trade for Spring. It's into a 2v2. It ain't over yet. You're looking at the post plant for Divine and Jing here. Can they hold on to this? Pain Shell posted by some seconds. They needed to stay alive. Divine digging deep. And they're not dead yet. They're not done yet. You should have killed them when you had a chance. PRX bringing it back to 12 apiece.
Overtime.
Of course we see overtime here on the first map of this series. An insane exchange here throughout the second half. And PRX is showing a brazen approach.
No fear.
Almost their trademark game plan here. But Wolves, I gotta say it, seemingly up to the challenge. Everything gets reset now for round 25. Those ultimates will be
Come on, guys.
reset as well. I mean, Wolves, the perfect position to close out now, but back onto the attacking side.
Apakah ada nge-wire?
The timing's going to be critical on this. They've read it. They've read it really well here.
Same piece we've seen previously.
And it worked out well for a 2-for-2 trade in the end, but this time, Jing, something in unison. They're not going to let him even have a chance into this. Denied from the very word go. And Wolves want back in. They're taking the fight. And he can't do that. PRX locked in on this. A 4v2.
Scan.
They should find stability, Mike. But Wolves look
There.
unwilling to back away. They don't want to go
They're
elsewhere.
expecting PRX to rotate away from this and give up the space, but PRX reading this perfectly. Still got both extremities controlled as well, so
It's so difficult. They need a freebie. They need something, and it ain't happening. PRX looking sharp here. Right read, right place, right shots.
draw first blood this set piece once more. On the back of the 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. This time around, no casualties, no trade found.
Enemy spike down.
Able to stick the landing. Wolves want to call a timeout here ahead of the second round in overtime.
So impressed by PRX's mental here, though, because they've been put through the ringer on this. Again, it's pressure on them more than anything, right? If you're Wolves, you've already done more than expected.
Looking in fine form today. But yeah, again, usually with Wolves, you'd be talking about, you know, this unknown quantity and, you know, hard to read and stuff like that. The fact that we're talking about actually there is some familiarity between these two teams, it makes it a little bit more interesting because we've seen kind of counters to both approaches.
Yeah.
PRX showing they're able to dismantle those defaults, and Wolves also looking as if they're very adept at dealing with early round aggression. And I'm with you on that one.
Again, you look at PRX, they are a legacy team here, right? And they have that one destination in mind, that final stop. The Wolves standing in their way of that grand final. And it's down to the wire between these two. So we go again. Similar scenes, it looks like, right? It almost looks like rinse and repeat, but Jing this time is fast. Oh, and he does get it!
Sure.
𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎 has gone down. It looked a little laboured, but 𝑌U swings in. Oh, he gets a second! Hold on, PRX, held back here now.
Spike just behind the wall as well. Not necessarily a comfortable push out here
That's
for
both
Wolves
players.
to control. Yeah, 𝖂𝖊𝖉𝖆 and Forsaken.
I have the spike.
Will be given an opportunity to reset a little bit here, but find themselves in a 2v3.
Oh, I thought they were leaving 𝖂𝖊𝖉𝖆 there. God.
Shadows traveling.
So no paranoia. Going to be a little gap on a follow-up smoke here. Plant comes through. Juicy still got satchels. Spring still with a snake bite, so a couple of tools here at Wolves' disposal.
Oh, it's so tense now. You're going to need someone to over-deliver, and they do! PRX take it deep, and Spring can't stand! PRX, it took so long to get there, but that legacy team holding strong on map one.
Hey, this standing pistol round, huh?
Why you never stand up?
He's legit NPC full, they should take him.
to death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets. Cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know.
On the over. And they PRX take it deep, and Spring can't stand.
Oke. Ntar belum mulai, tenang aja, chill.
What an exciting way to start Masters Toronto here today. I'm now joined by PRX's coach Alex. Now, everybody credits GUYSSS as a team that has a lot of structure. How did you and your boys manage to find those gaps on Lotus?
I think it was a very close affair. I honestly didn't think they gave many gaps. We knew what they were doing, but I think we could have done it better. We did a lot of research. I mean, they have a lot of research on Lotus, so it helped a lot.
Nice counter-strike there, coach. Good luck on map 2.
Oh boy, choo-choo, because the train ain't stopping. as PRX managed to pick up the win, 14-12 going into the OT there, and one has to wonder, does Wolves have what it takes to be able to force that map 3? Now, for that though, let's actually take a look at our Verizon high-speed moment. We got to give this one to YU because there were some great plays in this one, but Mimi, this one in particular shined through.
Yeah, and this is more about the round as a whole, because I think this starts so well for PRX. Something they did great on their defense was these active trap plays. In this one, they get 2 picks, but then in classic PRX fashion, I think end up overstaying their welcome just a little bit. They lose 2 players there, and then Wolves, after getting this nice double from YU, flicking up to the player on the off angle, Wolves goes on to win this round. And it was rounds like this, the ones that started strong for PRX, that Wolves bounced back, that made it look like Wolves was gonna take this game away in that first half pair.
I love the balance also of having Spring being more the one that is going to push from the defense and YU being the one that was in the lurks in this first half of Lotus. But in the end, somehow, even with them losing these advantages and whatnot, PRX manages to get back on the board and secure the map.
It's funny because they got theirs back. They gave away some advantages in the first half, but they were the ones winning a lot of clutches. They were the ones bringing it back in the second to push us all the way to OT. That's what you know this PRX team for.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there are so many good things to talk about with this PRX team. One individual in particular, got to give it to the man himself, 𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. We saw some wild plays. This one in particular was nuts, because my guy just walked out there, not a care in the world, 𝖘𝖚𝖕𝖆𝖎𝖆, was like, you know what, hold this L with the sheriff. Pop, pop, got 2 out of the break.
So many 3Ks, so many very high impact kills that he had. He even got an ace, even though Alex's reaction was not showing that he got an ace. But it was this is one of the disadvantages that they won, and one of the reasons that PRX was able to secure this map in so many occasions was thanks to device performance.
After PRX's failures earlier in this year, missing out on Bangkok, having the rough start to stage 1, a lot of fans were calling for Device head when they were asking for roster changes. They were saying that he should get dropped, they should find someone new, but I think he's really proved himself in this tournament now, stepping up in some of these later games, showing us the divide that we've known has been so strong since all the way back at tournaments like Masters Copenhagen, where this team has made finals before.
Yeah, well, of course, a lot of pressure, though, on the other side of the stage for the Wolves as they're facing a potential trip to the lower bracket if they lose this next map. Let's actually go ahead and check in with 𝖘𝖔𝖕𝖎 to hear what he has to think as we get ready for that one.
I'm now joined by 𝖘𝖔𝖕𝖎 from Wolves. Now, this is the first map you've lost this tournament since that Sentinel series. What was the focal point in your team talk before map 2? And is there any concern around stamina if this series goes the distance?
I think we kind of show like nerfs again, once again, towards the end of first map. And I think stamina shouldn't be an issue because we had a 3 days break previously, so I think we will be fine.
I hope so. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, and there you see the results that you heard as well. Like, they feel good about their stamina for the Wolves, but a 14-12, that has to sting for them as they get ready for map 2, Mimi.
For sure, especially, Pei, like you were mentioning, this is a team that has not lost a map since the series they dropped to open Toronto against Sentinels. They have been on a non-stop roll up to this point, but now having to go all the way to 3 if they want to make it into the final here.
Oh, but there's such good maps for the side of Wolves. And now we're about to jump into Ascent. And we're going to see something for everybody that enjoys the map that we don't usually see. Is one team on one hand, we expect them to be playing with the Viper, right? Double controller. And on the other side, a double Sentinel with the Deadlock. That is, of course, if we do not see any changes in the agent select. And I think that we were highlighting how well Wolves was doing from their attack with those executes, how good the utility from Lyser is in that agent.
I really like their Deadlock, in particular on the attacking side. It's another map where they play super slow, just like you were watching on Lotus. But what they do well here is putting down their Sentinel utility on space they take, then resetting as a team and clearing elsewhere. So they're kind of putting down these little checkpoints to save parts of the map they have, and then being able to call back into that really late. I think a lot of teams miss out on those little details with juggling the Sentinel utility. They're great there. It's the same on defense. To me, this feels like a really strong map for Wolves to bounce back.
Yeah, I like the way they chop up the map, right? And really give themselves, like you said, a lot of these openings. The thing is, though, is that we have seen now a couple times PRX kind of feed the beast one too many times here. And I think with Deadlock and the way that this team can play this one, Mimi, this could be quite problematic for them if they're not careful and checking their P's and Q's.
For sure, yeah. They have to be on point with taking calculated risks, but it definitely paid off in the first game here. Let's take a look at the comps, and PRX locking in that jet for something now.
Oh, they're going back to something, you know, more standard in this case. They've moved away from the Gecko and the Rays. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I love Mimi, the fact that they're sticking with this double controller and the Viper.
I really like the Viper comps on this map. I think they've always been strong on defense, especially 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖆 looked great, but this is much more sensible in terms of the rest of the utility. You're going to put a lot into something. I'm looking at what he can do with the AWP, starting on this defensive side, and what protocols Wolves have to deal with that.
Another player that we have to look at is Patman. Very quiet performance in the first map, something that is very, very different from what we've been seeing for the rest of the tournament from him.
Yeah, and he's going to have a lot of responsibility here, because I think like you're going to want that KO maybe to try and like flash a bit with the deadlock there to prevent that utility from being a bit of a problem, try and sniff those things out. He's going to have a tall task ahead of him without a doubt here. Curious to see how this one plays out, because really it feels like both teams are doing their
that like to wait so much, and that is why I'm looking at these players to focus on.
Oh boy, all right, well, it's time now to get ready for map number 2. Toronto, you want to see a map 3? I said you want to see a map 3, Toronto! Let's send it back over to your casters who very much want a map 3. Here's Pansy and 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖆.
And you really can't blame us after map 1. 14-12, it tipped the way of PRX in OT. But what a wild ride it was to get there. Now on Ascent though, Mike, has this changed any of your expectations?
I mean, you look at this, really, the upset would have come from Lotus for me. If Wolves could close out here, PRX struggled domestically here on Ascent. They obviously have the loss to Gen.G previously here, sorry. So this is the opportunity now for Wolves to get back in control of this series and force a third, because Split should be an absolute barn burner if we get there.
Please, look, I
always delivers, man. A Split decider, always.
Oh, God. Okay, well, let's see if they can get there first. For PRX, though, in their minds, there's always been one goal, and it's the grand finals, right? This team put together, went back to the drawing board to rebuild.
There was a great line from 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖆, I think, in one of the interviews, talking about every time he sees the champs LA finisher in-game, it haunts him. A couple of them actually just saw them brought up on map 1.
So again, you've got to have been starving to truly understand hunger, and for PRX, they've never really got that first place. Not when it mattered, so for them, probably the best chance they've had in a minute's time, but still, it will be Wolves on the attack, PRX on the defending side. Something tries to stake his claim towards middle, but will be warded away.
Back on the Sheriff actually here, Juicy with a flash. Close and personal, sure, actually Forsaken caught on the retreat back.
Yeah, maybe not thinking he's going to fill that space yet, but there is still 2 players on this side of the map for PRX, so Patman's still here. Jing's still on this side too. Slow and steady again for Wolves. And it looks like PRX wants this back, but it's just going to end up being a brawl, isn't it? They're ahead of the smoke, but what's the util on the corner? There isn't any. So Jing and Patman do really well. Eventually they trade it effectively, though. 30 Wolves keep the man to the good, and they get the site for themselves.
Man to the good, something down to 34 HP as well. But 2 Sheriffs on the side of PRX here. Good pack a punch here on the retake. For a spam, actually, the exchange back and forth. Still got a drone in play here for 𝖊𝖕𝖕𝖆𝖕.
That is lovely. Gonna have to keep themselves tucked in on this. I think both potentially spotted yet, and that was huge for this. Something can't get the shot. 𝖊𝖕𝖕𝖕𝖆 off to a great beginning. But again, for Wolves, you got to make it work on these attacking sides.
Absolutely do. Talked about that being the main objective on Lotus. He did deliver.
One enemy remaining.
To repeat it here once more. Something. Can get that economy building, as Mimi mentioned, what he can get done with the operator potentially on the defensive side, always a factor on Ascent.
Right here.
Wolves have the tools to really prevent that from happening. Fairly invested here on round 2 as well, respect being shown to PRX. It's only spring on a Sheriff, Bulldogs across the board. Actually, with that round 1, 𝖊𝖕𝖕𝖕𝖆 already halfway to the Hunter's Fury as well, so looking for further progress potentially.
But again, a reminder of that last map too. These rounds aren't free. When it comes to that second round, even if it's just a sheriff, even if it's just classics, PRX will make something out of it. For now, though, again, it's a considered approach from Wolves, taking their time around the map, doing their due diligence, and 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖕 will be working towards, as said, that, or I imagine probably getting priority on that here. Caution needs to be shown. That deep haunt over towards B, you should have seen on the mini-map. Pretty indicative of no one's there, and the connection of the knife. So they should be pretty locked in for what's happening.
I have the spike.
Considering set piece here around the cage from 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, but
Are they cancelling on this?
30 seconds left. They need to find progress somewhere.
Dangerous,
especially with players like Jing tucked up. Very deep position. Laboured, but 𝖬𝖈 comes out on top.
Yeah, the paranoia goes into sight, so they should be able to kind of springboard through this. Unless someone wants to smoke, now you can't. Now you're held back. It feels like the anti-PRX, doesn't it? But they still find a way through. 𝖊𝖈 up and over the top, but at this point the plant's going to be in. So very difficult to find much surprise, even ahead of maybe that deadlock util. You've got to be cautious. Again, you can afford losing one player, that being Spring. The rest you don't want to lose, and 𝖬𝖈 took a risk, but he should be fine here. Yes, stability looking good. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖕 going to be building very close to that. Oh, and a lovely round in the end from Wolves there, Mike.
Initially, 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖕 did have the spike, but coming through elsewhere. Still, fantastic progress made.
I got scared here, though.
Very, very worried, yeah. And the Bulldogs sometimes can be a little hard to tame. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖕 not having that issue in that regard. Sticking the spray. Now, that purchase, especially with Spring upgrading as well.
Wow, this is a nice spot.
Makes this round 3 doable here for Wolves. Actually, 2 light shields. Inside of PRX as well for something. And Forsaken.
They're fighting on every front, though, PRX here. Pressure down B main, pressure down cap, pressure on towards A main. It's a really risky ploy. I guess it does burn some of that early util for Wolves, though, so there is that. And they're really committing the paranoia on that, too.
Cover going out.
Spring on the opposite side here.
If Spring even comes out positive in any of this, it would be incredible for him. Because in the meantime, look at where the spike's going, Mike.
I think if he can show presence, or something actually. Forsaken's walked all the way up as well.
They don't know about Forsaken. Oh, it's a quick beheading. Couldn't get the follow-up on 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖈𝖏, and it might be the green light to go towards B. Still a player to hold his divider down low, but still standing and still breathing on 35. He takes 𝖬𝖈 out of the equation. Now starting to flounder a bit. You can see it with Wolves. This was only their bonus, but still struggling to find the landing on this up against the 4 remaining for PRX. That's going to be dealt with. You look at that mid lurk coming into effect too, but that's not going to find the value they want. And yeah, something clean within. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖚 still making something of this. Spring still got his paranoia. If he can get through here, oh my god, it's risky off the back, but still. And now the smoke dissipates on. Oh! The smoke going down on CT opens up chance here. 𝖊𝖈 tries to find that second before the paranoia lands, but 8 seconds now. Stop it, Wolves! One by one, they are taking down PRX, and Jing seems unaware of the possibility of Spring being so close. Smokes of his own and a couple of TPs. How do you divide and conquer this? I do not know. But all eyes drawn to that potential in the smoke. Jing steps forward, smoke goes down, and Spring finds him. Mike, I can't believe what I just saw.
Conversion on the bonus here. Talked about the threat with all those Bulldogs. It looks like PRX initially come out with a win to catch this kill, but not just that, the information that Wolves are descending upon B site. But some key pieces of utility, key damage towards 𝖊𝖈 in that initial exchange.
You can finally
pays off massively for Wolves. Get themselves the upper hand here to kick off map 2.
And I'm waiting with bated breath, right? Because that's a huge start for them. So I feel like once you get PRX on the attack, they come into their own, right? Able to control the tempo, kind of do what they please. But if you can stake a good claim for yourselves, the opportunity's yours. 𝖬𝖈, quick reminder. The PRX are lethal no matter the weaponry. And that is going to be an upgrade for something. Might pass that over depending on the shield situation, but still, good stall here.
Oh, yeah, drone cancelled.
Massive. Patman. Is he going to get to live here? There's a lot of targets that all could be sent towards, and yeah, grabbed. But 𝖊𝖉𝖆 in the meantime, going to take down Juicy. Hold on, this is not completely secure by any means. They're in a 3v3, sure, but look at the HP of 𝖬𝖆𝖈. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖆 does have his ult, but I don't think he can get away from that default plant spot. So Spring waiting. Now sees that. Forsaken, are you aware? Going to be held up back towards heaven. The two players on site can focus towards short. Nice from Spring, but he goes down. And now Something and Divine need to come together in this. Somehow figure it out. The deeper off angle from 𝖬𝖈𝖆 was lovely. Leaving Divine. What a shot! You got one more of those. You've done it before. You had the ace before. The man is a monster, but he's got to prove it now. And 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖆 has been ice cold in these. He knows the time. He knows the tempo. Oh, what is that from Divine, though? A belting shot, and once again, doing the unimaginable.
The Red Bull clutch here from Divine, continuing to deliver here today in this series.
One enemy
God
remaining.
damn, just give the man a sheriff.
Another three-piece for him to add to the list. It's rough as well, the reset. Again, default plant spot safe initially, but that position from 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖆 to gamble. You can get a cheeky half defuse in, or you can go ahead and stick it. It forces the hand, especially with the recon bolt being used so early on.
Now they start pressuring the point. Look at that deep line already adopted by Something in that operator. Sit towards that. Prowler going to be clearing. No one nearby now.
My ult is ready.
And the ult gathered too. So a nice early step, but a fast mid take coming out from the Wolves.
Potential to backstab this. I think they're reading into maybe some deep presses. Yeah, we'll catch the backside of Something for sure. And the second player.
Ooh, that is bravery. Why are you swinging that? Forsaken doubling down. It's a mistake and a punish. Is why you will lap that up. And now that B-side looks so vulnerable.
Flash. We'll guarantee the cross. Juicy's going to find 𝖊𝖉𝖆 as well. And actually, yeah, that might just be
Spike planted.
the white flag put up from PRX here to hold on to these weapons. No point feeding into this potentially with Juicy. Close to that ultimate. Spring's actually already on the hunt. He wants to prevent any semblance of safety here for the remaining PRX players. He's going to pick up a deep position in spawn, though. There's still maybe a question mark if they're in towards market or in towards spawn. Well, they will progress any further, but yeah, usually talk about discipline, and that was a lack of respect to Something.
Yep.
Yeah, did he even get a shot off? Why he was just so quick to that?
Yeah, they seem really aware. Again, this kind of, it's not necessarily that regional matchup at all, but, you know, scrim partners and the information on this ahead of that swing, it was really well dismantled.
Yeah.
Again, Forsaken's fault as well, just felt it was too late to be going for that. There's no trade to be there. Desperation.
I think, yeah, again, once you notice the drone that's come forward, you're not just swinging onto 𝖬𝖈𝖆 there. Again, it's almost an expected response here from PRX. They deal with the trip. They want to post something on a much deeper sight line. Again, the Prowler's sent through as well. So it's actually Wolves that have the upper hand in terms of the information game. It's a question mark for PRX, actually. Who's behind that? And the punish, unfortunately, there for them. Will leave them at a 4-1 deficit now. Timeout called. There's a purchase. Considering the rifles behind this, maybe want to make a play for an orb here for Something to offset that slightly. Is Forsaken going to be riding a stinger coming into this, but already a fantastic start for Wolves. Looking composed.
Yep.
As well, just hearing from 𝖉𝖆 talking about how much actually those days off have paid off, because they've had, like we said, with the comeback in Gen G, the resilience shown, that takes a lot from a team, even if they're all smiles and on their feet on the stage and stuff. Behind closed doors, no doubt, no doubt that reset absolutely necessary to continue here in Toronto.
Yeah, spot on. So for them, it is now just how long can you keep this up? How clean can you keep this game? PRX so far with that one round, but of course did have that timeout. You can hear the ults coming through as well for something. GUYSSS kind of have their number on this B side, but it feels like they're getting the right read here. But are you going to go through the pit on this? No, brave enough to go for the ult orb, but that's about all she wrote. But that mid-cross is dangerous now.
I think I did just hear something pop the knives. It's not necessarily looking like as bad a situation here for PRX.
I must wait a moment.
They try and navigate their way round the pit.
Looks like it, right?
TP back here from Juicy to potentially collapse on B side very quickly with GUYSSS Spring.
To do that to something, can we just like highlight the fact you're doing that to something twice now? He's been outswung. If you don't think these Wolves are gunners, you are absolutely wrong. But now they've manipulated the map well. Now they want to maybe hit that cross back in again, and this is where those Stingers are going to start suffering. You're not in the right place for Bajing, still going to hold his ground. Paranoia primed and sent down through. Tries to escape it, he gets out at least for now. Patman's found Mike, Story's got support. Spring, oh, 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, they're just sliding it towards him. Patman going there clear! How's he just gone full there?
Puts himself in a deadly position and delivers here for PRX.
I need to watch that one back.
It just jumps down, able to get behind this so quickly.
Spike down mid.
Beautiful stuff from him.
The heavy machinery.
No semblance of comfort back in the coach booth whatsoever. Operator back in hand now for something. All stacked up in mid now. The smoke will obscure for the time being.
Who's next?
So Juicy going to try and pave the way. Actually, right, threads it round the corner there.
And something seems unafraid at all, and he gets out of danger. Trying to combine it with that Hunter's Fury, but it finds no value, really. And now Forsaken just stands his ground. This feels like it's fallen flat here for Wolves. PRX getting a good read and a good idea. It's going to need a hero to stand tall. Spring's done well towards Batman. Doesn't expect 𝖊𝖉, so close. Great trade for 𝖊𝖉 there. And now just two remaining, Juicy and 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 in a 2v4, Mike.
𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖉𝖎𝖆.
I mean, it would be a tilter.
Maybe.
I mean, they should find a straight 2v2 on either side here, but the issue being something is posted up. The operator. You get not many tools left to... Actually, no, I haven't said that. Recon and Juicy with a full belt almost.
I'm trying to send it for the fake, I guess.
30 seconds left.
A nice idea. But it's not going to dissuade these players. They don't need to move.
PRX can sit in this formation now, and I think actually Wolves... Because they don't get a bite.
Yeah, it looks like a cancel.
I mean, 𝑌U 450, Spring 1350, and
10
Lysor
seconds left.
struggling to scrape together any funds here. So PRX will find their third. Keep things honest in the start of Ascent. Let's see how the ultimates play here. It's only a TP for Spring, and as you can see on PRX now, absolutely nothing and a million miles away from anything, to be honest with you. So a slight advantage in that regard, but it's not much. I mean, Lysor going to be potentially the next key ultimate for the Wolves.
I've got to say as well, for me, good to start seeing Patman find a bit of impact too. He's been a really good player for them.
Yeah, a quiet map one as well, so seeing him come online, certainly a positive.
Oh, Forsaken, got the timing so right. He's so blind, so a good bit of spacing and trading from Juicy just to swing that. But the next layer to this is still something. There's no pressure towards middle, but he's very paranoid about it. They want in on this. Still not noting him. The stall's there. If they try and disrespect it, it's going to be brutal, and it is. Yet way too difficult on the way in. Juicy, what is that? You're 1 HP, you're not meant to be doing this sort of stuff. And now Spring left in a 1v2 as well. So unwilling to deny that that scale up towards B was their right idea.
They're wrapping the spike as well. Both Jing and something.
This guy's paranoia, smoke, TPs. He's got a bit of kit here to play with though, Mike.
He's left guessing. Potentially, yeah, going to get himself a clean plant.
Shadows traveling.
With the smoke towards CT, kind of implies he's not expecting this wrap.
Certainly does. TP should be noted too, that paranoia. What do you do with it? Yeah, a little interested on that, but the corner, slow peeks ain't gonna get you past something. And he's gonna take a stand on that one. But it felt like Wolves were so headstrong in wanting to hit towards that B site, but the scaling up just didn't feel right there.
Initially, that first kill was a Forsaken. Yeah, Forsaken gets caught here with the flash.
Revealing area.
Again, you look at the minimap at that moment, and there is a huge gap in the PRX defense. So happens. I mean, Juicy picks up a little momentum, but that kill there, he was down to 1 HP, and the shorty connects from here. Just as the door is about to close. Potentially stealing that post plant for Wolves, to be honest with you.
Yeah, felt like it. And now Wolves starting to run dry, it looks like. Again, when we're talking about these sort of big stage games, it is that level of comfort on here when you're under the gun, because yes, they did lose out to, what was it, Sen early on, but beyond that, they've not really dropped the map for Wolves. They've been on that kind of momentum run. So now they're starting to hit that brick wall, right? You kind of expect it in towards these sort of games. The caliber just keeps increasing. I want to see how well they do in this. Obviously, they did great against Gen G. That, to me, was the tick in the box of authenticity.
Yeah, almost a turning point.
Yeah, like everything else, I'd be like, okay, maybe people underestimated them. Maybe they...
Yeah, because you have that step up again for playoffs, where it's like, obviously, the stakes get raised, and we're not talking about elimination for Wolves, but certainly the caliber increases, the pressure definitely correlates with that.
Back to 4-4.
And then you step into a series versus PRX. Talk about Gen G being an international titan, but
PRX, I mean, God, I said it
need no introduction when it comes to the international stage.
Truly not. And again, I think that because of their lack of, you know, let's say international trophy, there has been that worry about them, how well they do, their expectations, but they are still a grand finalist team, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's just something that doesn't even need to be said half the time. But at this point, they've course corrected well. They've got everything back to where they like it. And for something, he's going hunting. He knows where the man is.
Yeah, Cam dealt with quickly. You can see on the minimap as well, situation developing outside A site. Then the knife is going to have given that info across. Really juicy with a rifle here, and all of that if you may.
This feels very classically PRX as well, but a dangerous position for Forsaken. He could get outswung here, and he is on his own because you saw the rotation route coming out from something, so times it well to back away, and that C's obviously giving it a couple of seconds and actually plays back in something. You don't often see fights this deep on the map, but welcome to PRX, I guess.
Yeah, PRX just don't want Wolves to sit back and set up here, preventing any rotation back towards the B side of the map. Pac-Man still commanding this space, and actually Knife will reveal everything if he threw it. Probably still knowing exactly what's going on.
Yeah, look at
the
30 seconds left.
Snake bite and the fragment.
Oh, this is an awful sight to have to try and approach. Basically dry at this point. Yeah, Juicy still going to get Jing down, but we're... Okay, guys, you were primed for this. And 𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 looks like he's trying to do everything himself. What on earth is going on here? Something that's unfair. That's a bit of bullying, but I like it. 5-4 now, tipping the scales on their side. And I'm going to say, Wolves looking a little bit shaken by this.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't want to say lost for answers, but unable to really troubleshoot with some of these approaches that PRX are displaying here on Sen. Again, good for 2 on the way in here.
Yeah, surprise.
A moment where 𝖊𝖉𝖎 can't ping down Spring.
PRX watch party loving that one, but 5-4 we go back through. 𝖉𝖎𝖎 back in play. And it looks simplistic in approach, it looks direct, and something looks to turn this operator into a shotgun. I mean, he's feeling himself here. It's a really risky play. It's now been... Oh! Great target selection! Catching 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 just in towards the 𝖚𝖓𝖆, and he's still standing. He looks like he wants to absolutely pop off here, and he is. 1 by 1 they come, and 1 by 1 they fall. Can he find that final man as well? 𝖬𝖈𝑢 looking to try and take towards the site. But something's been dominant about this so far, the double swing. Position noted, and something's going hunting. Hungry for his 4-3 already in the round. There's not much to be done for YU here, Mike.
Especially not now. Already a solid idea of where he's at. PRX just want to decisively close out round 10 here.
No escape. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Something gets his fourth, and he is just getting scarier and scarier as the game goes on.
Like they're channeling into that 6th gear. Putting up now 5 rounds unanswered for PRX. Oh, did start a 4-1 scoreline here. The tides certainly have turned. We'll actually draw out a second timeout here for Wolves. And the opening stretch of Ascent. Desperate, I guess, from Fade to try and recover things here. And hope for a 6-6. Actually, 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖎𝖆, the one to really lead this dialogue.
Yeah, it's not Fade. This is the captain checking in with the boys. See that pressure starting to mount.
Because I guess this is the uncharted territory for this team, right? Is being on international stage and, you know, coming up against opponents that you just can't crack through that first sort of line of defense. Again, this is where these guys really earn their money, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming up with the goods here.
It's all good and well to have those Cinderella runs, right? And it's why we love them. They're such fun to witness. But the reality is normally that fairy tale falls short. There's been very few occasions where it's gone the whole distance. You could argue EG at Champs was probably one of the only ones that ever made it.
The outlier, yeah.
That is it. PRX have been that fairy tale run in the past, but they never quite made it themselves. For Wolves, they have to face that reality now. How bad do you want it? Do you have really what it takes to push someone like PRX away from something they are singularly focused on? That grand final is what they want. Jing gonna draw blood. It's beautiful, and Juicy not getting what he needs there.
A tag or two, but Forsaken happy with that. Something will follow up here. YU will fall. Now, actually, reaggress here, but PRX will correct.
Yeah,
just see 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕 now.
They're making it hurt, Mike.
Now, this is when it's rough to play against PRX. They know when to keep on pressuring. Don't allow you any say in the round. When you say in the half as well. That's 6 now. With no response.
Beautiful.
Didn't even look like that was going to land as well.
Oh. Simply lovely from PRX. And as said, the pressure starts weighing on the chest for Wolves. It's still a manageable scoreline.
Absolutely,
still smiles. Yeah. But we can see these rounds, and they're feeling these rounds, and there's aggression again. Something wants that deeper line, and he's got it for starters.
This is why it's so rough to play against PRX, though. When they get themselves ahead, they know to not let up. Wolves can, I mean, potentially find a 7-5 here. It will be. Big tick in the box.
Oh, bang on. But that wherewithal, that discipline, that capability in the high pressure games now is the biggest test for them. Looking a little fraught here so far. Last couple of rounds just not quite been in the wheelhouse. And again, the timing on these knives, rather good.
Fragment to prevent anybody slipping the smoke, even though 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕 on watchful guard here, tucked into logs, because I mean PRX can sit in this formation.
Oh god. I mean, 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖕 is just, he does get caught playing ahead there. That is one thing that's worked in their favor. He tried to lean a little forward, gets punished. But Forsaken, the Guardian in this one, keeping them at bay. And look at who slipped towards the site in the meantime. Jing still here, doing the dunk, does it well, takes down another. Forsaken popping up with 20 seconds. The leader for the Wolves side has to stand, and he can't. Falls to Forsaken at 8-4. Such a commanding scoreline.
Really is. Wolves' resilience will be tested once more to try and come back here. said 7-5, doable 8-4. I mean, it's a pistol round 2 potentially that makes this such a huge deficit to come up against.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out now for Wolves. This is a tough scenario. PRX singular in their goal, eyeing up that grand final, but they're not there yet. One more half stands in their way. So they need to prepare themselves. And it seems like we're about to send it over to 𝖕𝖕𝖉𝖎𝖆 with 𝖃𝖃 standing by.
Thank you so much, Pansy and 𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. We have a hell of a game so far, but I'm joined on the floor right now by 𝖃𝖃. Toronto, give it up to 𝖃𝖃. 𝖃𝖃, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. The energy in the stadium is insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last time we had a chance to speak with each other, it was during an Americas matchup in LA. What's the vibes like here in Toronto in a sold-out Masters Toronto?
Yeah, I think it's insane because the East Coast and Canada hasn't had an event like this in a long time, and Los Angeles always has events like this. So the crowd, I feel like you guys are like super excited to finally be here in person and watching the games. Like, you guys are insane.
Toronto, are you excited? Hell yeah. And now you have some experience playing in Game Changers before, so you have an eye for skill. In this matchup so far between PRX and Wolves, who do you have your eye on so far?
Okay, honestly, at first I wasn't gonna say this, but after that ace with the deagle on that diffuse round, 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆.
So does that mean 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎 and PRX are taking it serious?
Yeah, I mean, I got PRX rocking on my sleeve right now, so I think they're gonna scare us a little, make it a close match, but I think PRX is gonna like close it out. I'm sorry, Wolves. I'm sorry. You've been great though.
Well, Wolves, you know what to do. It's time to Thank you so much one more time, 𝖃𝖃. Let's bring it back to the game.
𝖕𝖕𝖉𝖎𝖆 sending it on that. He's such a bold man. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
he's actually been rehearsing that for the last few days.
That's what I've been hearing in the hotel.
A few howls, yeah.
Yeah, fair play. And they're going to need a couple because 4 rounds isn't many, right? PRX sat on 8. You can see on the Coinbase Econ report kind of just the lay of the land, really. And it has been a bit of the something show in my mind. He has elevated. I was worried after that first round with the operator. It didn't seem to phase him. He was right back into business.
Yeah, and I think the issue being now coming into the second half, you see the string of rounds. It's been collected by PRX. Wolves haven't had much of a say in some of these losses yet. Coming down to maybe a 1v1 here and there, but all the crucial kills, feeling as if they went PRX's way. Like I said, we started at a 4-1 scoreline. Now, it being 8-4, a pistol and a round 2 can often seal the fate of a team.
Juicy on the line here. First contact made, that's 2 players, and a third now noted. That's a lot of info. 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 is being bold about this, but he's been revealed, he's been just about everything, but they weathered the storm.
Yeah, I think initially there, the further investment in utility implied that PRX were going to follow through, but maybe the Prowler catching on 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 made them think there's potentially a little bit of a stack.
The timing on this, I saw. Lovely timing on that, but something is free. A little bit of a 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎 going to do some serious work. The Spring's already down low, now even lower. Cleared, Forsaken, 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎 trailblazing their way forward. The A site is their goal, and the plant's going to be in.
YU and 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, a 2v4. A couple of members of PRX tagged up, but certainly doesn't swing this in Wolves' favour. Have to overcome the odds here. PRX just poised for anybody to step out. That's it. Finds a second.
Okay, it's not over yet, but YU's going to come into this as well. Jing's quieted him down, but 𝖃𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆's going to see both players, basically. He's got to know where they are, but he can't do enough. A desperate attempt to get them back here. But PRX take another step in the right direction.
On the brink of double digits. Again, as soon as they find, I guess, what they perceive as a point of weakness, they follow through. Wolves not able to even backtrack. Well invested here for round 2 as well. Don't want to leave anything up to chance. Rifles except for Pac-Man and Forsaken. That's Wolves set up in a little bit of a stack here. Flash-in's only going to slow down the inevitable, it feels. Maybe toying with the idea of contesting that orb, but doesn't happen. I think PRX probably smell something.
There's a trap around that corner, guys, I'm pretty sure. Feels weird over there. And something looking to farm. If he falls, it would be a prized possession garnered.
I was curious there if Forsaken was going to show some utility on the other side of the map, because it's just 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆, but 𝖘𝖔𝖈𝖎𝖆 actually is calling a cancel on that.
Hello. That's one. There's more, and it's cleared systematically, one by one. The flash through of smoke is nice. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 is already noted as well. Can't really fall away from the stairs, and Jing already takes the angle. PRX looking locked in here, Mike. They are pulling no punches.
No, they're not. Again, showing diligence this time around.
30 seconds left.
And that's when it really flips the switch. Wolves the ones to left. Kind of to... Almost a second guess themselves, but Jing, a third found and a 10th on the board for PRX. This buy round,
that's it.
It's huge for Wolves. And this bonus even bigger for PRX if they can find it. Only the one casualty.
You're gonna cry, bro.
So they come into round 3. Flushed out in terms of the inventory. And Pac-Man actually just going to ride a Sheriff through here. It's Forsaken and Jing closest in terms of this ult cycle. Nothing of note for Wolves, but potentially a pace change. Just initially, Forsaken going to retrieve one orb. Trying to retrieve one orb.
Yeah, a couple times of asking. All good.
But don't have control over towards A main, so...
Okay, sir.
Got the 𝖘𝖔𝖈 as a start, isn't it? You can see the...
I mean, it's a huge ultimate to have in the bonus, so you know they're going to want to come for this orb.
Oh, benar-benar PRX sih.
Well, here it is. They've taken the taunt.
And actually, 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 and Spring do peel away.
Now they've cleared B main. If you're looking at Wolves' side, they cleared B main. So they might leave 𝖬𝑈 here, but you can already see that rotation coming in from Juicy. He's going to try and pop himself over towards A.
PRX aren't dead set just yet. I think maybe going to prioritize towards short here to catch somebody out. They don't want to walk into this choke point.
No, and that's going to encourage to play forward, but denied. Forsaken with the first blow, and it could be a lethal one of that. Juicy, it's laboured, but job done, and 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎 does well. Tucked into hell, he drags down another with him. The Wolves aren't done yet, but Forsaken captured and held in place. The spike now left loose. With 20 seconds, he's got to make a miracle out of this. 3 players, Forsaken.
I have this fight.
Not gonna get it. A lifeline for Wolves.
3 left standing as well, just an armor or shield to repurchase here for Juicy. Again, that was the bonus, so PRX is going to come back in, and because Pac-Man only brought a Sheriff to the party,
Spike down A. Spike down
it's almost rinse and repeat here. Not out of the woods just yet. Cannot get the ball rolling in terms of the comeback.
But again, though, this was something that was said about 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 was building up his players, right? Keeping them confident, trying to keep them in the game. He's going to have to keep doing that because PRX don't stop. Even in their losses, they will still play confident games. And something taking space. Solo 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎. 2 players on the other side. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖉𝖎 and 𝖒𝖊𝖉 playing top mid off the back of that trip placed in as well. So they've got a lot to play off of here. A very difficult scenario. Pac-Man on that deeper line in case someone does swing. It's got to be those early protocols being cleared.
I mean, it is Duelist's nightmare to play into this composition. But 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎 dancing with death here.
Still have that trip, so they can still have confidence behind that. But they've read it wrong to an extent, right? They're kind of falling for this fade pressure on towards B main, but we know where it's heading. PRX are once again eyeing up this A site. This is brutal. You got Juicy still here, you got Spring still here, but PRX are right at the door now. And away they go. Something looks the wrong way and gets punished. Spring does well. Great paranoia too. Tries to slow the roll here, buy time for these rotations. Pressure from main held back by the smoke, but Divide gonna lean forward. Lurch closer. Juicy play in the corner. Gets denied. Looks for the follow-up. No. Spring barely alive on two, but he's still breathing until then. Down to a 3v2. Man to the good for PRX, and now Plant on their side.
We're going to be coming from heaven here. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 a little ahead of YU. Nobody from PRX overstepping. They're tucked in right now.
Got to see discipline.
Oh.
That's a shoulder shown. Some damage made. So they could know 2 players off of this. That third is a problem. That third being Forsaken, but they're losing out on the site. Couldn't quite get the follow-up. And PRX striding closer now. 11 rounds to their name.
A tough loss here for Wolves. Like you said, with the bonus being as well invested as it was.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, now seems daunting to approach this round 17.
God, you get that sinking feeling in your stomach,
Yes,
don't
for
you?
sure, yeah.
Your money's rotten. You haven't really found a way to handle PRX. Maybe your chances existed and died on that first map, but they're not out yet. At 11-5 though, you can start hearing that music play, can't you? That 12th round looking likely, but in its way, good couple of sheriffs, Ghost, and a team with a whole lot of hopes here. But for PRX, they've got their own plan in mind, and that's a big investment and a big shot. 𝖭𝖊𝖈 lands it, so Jing's gone down. That's a weapon recoverable if they want it.
Yeah, and PRX actually aren't in a position to capitalize elsewhere. They're spread so thin. Spike not committed anywhere just yet. So that man advantage will stand for the time being. No weapon recovered though for Wolves.
Oh, nice from Patman. Big kill there on towards Juicy. And that knife should reveal at least one more. So do they need to turn away from this? Or do they just keep stepping forward? It feels a little headstrong for my taste, but it's PRX. You kind of know what you're in for here. 𝖭𝖊𝖈 was the one to do the damage. It looks like they're trying to trail up towards heaven. Something bulldozes forward. YU, great shot. 25 seconds. 𝖭𝖈𝖈 still standing. Has to go above and beyond here. 1 down. He's doing the dance. Oh, it's so elusive and evasive to try and land those shots. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖎𝖆 was so far away.
Spike planted.
Patman is low. Forsaken is not. I know. Oh, Hail Mary! Oh, for a second, I thought it was possible. But 12 found, and the final stand has to be now for Wolves.
This time PRX able to wait out, navigate their way into this defense. Get everything they need. It comes down to a fine margin once again. The PRX undeterred in terms of the finances here. A couple of ultimates starting to rear their heads. The side of Wolves actually. A few members just one away from some of these key ultimates, but we'll even get a chance to see them. Juicy, 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕𝖕, no command here from Patman.
Okay. Anti-setup though, which is nice. So they're still going to get a bit of a reward from this, right? It starts feeling very, very likely. Layers of ults though. 𝖭𝖈𝖈 could be in trouble here. 𝖬𝖊𝖉𝖕𝖕 trying to get on site, but Juicy goes unattended, unchecked, and he's rewarded. Great kills on 2. Finding more would be mythical at this point, but for PRX, they are left in tatters. Mike, I don't know if they could do it, just these 2 players. Desperation play from Patman has got his man, but Wolves stave off what feels like the inevitable with 3 still alive.
Clinging to life here, the neural theft being the catalyst for PRX. They know they have to fight for sight then. I think Patman walked down to just a lick of HP.
Yeah.
No chance for them to sit back and try and defend that, but Juicy really the one to stop this from spiraling out of control.
1 enemy remaining.
Second ping paying off there.
Breaks the money.
Yeah, it does.
Still got ults though. I say ult.
Yo,
a scary one with something. He's had a really good map here. Can they deny him now? Can they stop it now? Spring forced away, looking a little shaky, but something's fallen.
He's caught on the trip. Nobody broke it for him.
Which is a little bit worrying. That could be a tilter for him there, because that was meant to be their kind of, I guess, main part of the piece.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a nightmare for a duelist to play into this composition, but you really need that second or third man in line to deal with that sort of thing here. Juicy deals with Jing handily.
A bit worried there that he'd found like a, the dream gap to try and punish, but not to be. So PRX try and do what they can, and Wolves aren't allowing it. Patman does well towards site. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 still on the back lines. Doesn't need to overextend himself. Waits for the swing. Wolves control this well, Mike.
Double digits. That's where I'll start.
That's where we start. Yeah. It takes 1 round. PRX up to 12 here, and that is a frustrating one for something.
Yeah, again, just looking at the minimap, there's 2 members here down in Arch. Time to happen. And again, I'm not saying dealing with a trip and something goes wild there, but Bladestorm invested in that sort of round in particular. You never want to see a Jet having to invest a knife to deal with a trip, especially with 2 people in close proximity.
Find you.
But necessarily a big deal, all things considered.
Back to work though.
Looking for revenge up here.
Yeah, this time he wants in. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 playing top mid. Looking at the rest of the team split throughout. A bit of a default coming out from PRX. Maybe trying to catch some of the aggression. Jing's got to be cautious as well. Going to spot out 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎. And this is a creep towards A though. Look at the pressure Spring's in. Potential trouble. Does have his paranoia if he needs it. Investment of the ult going to come down on the other side of the map though. Juicy's going to clear and give away that there's no one here, but they don't know about Jing. He's been able to slip ahead early. They don't know about Jing, and now you do. Like a knife to the heart, but Spring answers back. Trying to... What? Oh, Spring! You are a madman!
Spike down.
Goes absolutely beyond all expectation, but it is a 2v2. Don't think it's over yet. Spike is there. It's picked up. Sent back away. Plants coming in.
Look at the pit as well.
Oh my god, this is going to be down to the wire, isn't it? Divide disconnected towards A main. You're going to have Jing tucked towards site. Spring.
Oh my
just missed him. God. The timing. Unbelievable. Spring trying to play the game, and Jing now going to be doing the around the world here, but they've given up position. This could be a mistake here, but they don't know about it. Obviously, they don't know about it. The pit's going to fall. And now you're looking at Jing. 𝖊𝖉𝖎 strikes first. 𝖬𝑈 holds on again. Can he take down the fight? He absolutely can! Out of nowhere! Wolves digging deeper!
Spring tees it up. 𝖬𝑈 closes out with a Red Bull clutch here to keep Wolves alive.
I can't believe that. Look at this round. This from Spring. You know it's a mad play when even PRX don't expect it. You know that's a mad one.
3 bullets left for 𝖬𝑈.
That's the killer instinct I want to see, though. To be able to do that against 12?
Oof. And I gotta say, frustration, rightfully so. They give up the pit, they play themselves out of line of sight of the spike. Yes, it needs a miracle, but it's Wolves you're talking about here.
It's still only 8 rounds. We said we start paying attention at 10. They've broken the bye, but it's still PRX. They can do it with classics. But something seems so unwilling to let go of this mid pressure. He wants it so badly. So Juicy's got to be careful. There is a world where he could get timed on this one. Those stingers, very, very deadly. We're going to go down. Camera here. Doesn't need to overstay his welcome. Could do with some support on CT, though. They do have an open path straight across. 𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 going to deny that. No one's going to be able to help out 𝖬𝑈 here. Does get to at least evade the siege, but they are right knocking at the door. PRX have a way forward.
No damage done just yet towards the side, but actually now, 𝖬𝑈 going to have his hands full?
Oh, outdone! PRX making something out of nothing, and maybe a mistake made by the Wolves. Plan's looking like it's coming in. You're looking at that late mid lurk as well coming out from Jing. Juicy tries to make something of it. Takes away Forsaken, but the number's still good. PRX hold the advantage here. 𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 could be timed in this, though. It's all going a little topsy-turvy. And of course, this is the round to do it. 𝖒𝖊𝖎𝖎 asked so much of. 3 defined, and he falls round by round. 𝖘𝖚𝖕𝖎𝖆, a track by track. That final stop fight, that final destination is now locked in for PRX.
Further elevation on the side of PRX today, overcoming. It's quickly become a fan favorite here in Toronto. Still, got to come away from this series with their heads held high for your Wolves.
Yes, absolutely.
But PRX deliver an absolute banger here. And a 2-0 victory over Wolves.
Yeah, spot on. Again, a lot of credit to Wolves, and they're certainly not done yet, but...
Anjing beneran track by track lah.
Oke, aman-aman kebaca nih. Udah dah.
Kita lihat reaksi dulu, kita lihat reaksinya dulu. Abangan kita.
Mati lu, backsetnya mati menang nih. Nice! 4 lawan 5 guys. Chill manja.
Nggak, diam. Kok diam? Diam.
Tenang dia, 13-8 ya. Trust me dia.
Oke, kamu.
Oh, lihat.
Wah, GGC tadi posisinya bagus banget anjing.
Masih mempertanyakan guys. Masih mempertanyakan karir gua guys 7 tahun. Masih mempertanyakan karir gua 7 tahun.
Hah?
Gua kasih kuping kanan gua nih guys. Gua kasih kuping kanan gua kalau kalah.
Udah bilang 13-8.
Masih mempertanyakan karir gua 7 tahun.
Bebek soang.
Udah gitu gerasak gerusuk ini kaget tuh San.
Aduh. Anjir.
You know that's a it's now what the so much of 3 to 5 and it falls round by round, kill by kill.
GG bos.
Side Batsy now, why are you going to have his hands full?
Oh, mau closing keren guys, kata closingnya tripty banget ya. Oke. Oke, di copy guys, closing keren katanya guys. Oh, mau closing keren bro, cila aja.
This is the round to do it. 𝖭𝖈𝖚 asked so much of 3 to 5 and it falls round by round, kill by kill.
GG bos kalian.
Lucu banget aja. Grand Final sudah menunggu PRX. Oke. PRX sudah menunggu. Oke, silahkan lawan datang PRX. Biasanya PRX yang datang ke lawan, oke. Oke, bentar ya. Nah, jadi gitu aja. Bye bye.